What if the key to living longer isn't about eating less, but eating the right kind of food? I'm talking about protein, the macronutrient we're all told to chase for muscle gains, recovery, and satiety. But here's the twist. A massive review of 350 studies suggests that for many people, especially those who aren't training like elite athletes, eating less protein might actually be the healthier choice. And no, this isn't about becoming a vegan overnight. It's about rethinking how much of this nutrient we're truly needing, and why our modern obsession with protein might be doing more harm than good. Let me break this down. For decades, we've been sold the idea that protein is the holy grail of nutrition. You see it in every snack bar, every meal replacement, and every supplement ad. But here's what's fascinating. The same scientists who've studied calorie restriction for longevity are now pointing to protein as a potential game changer. Think about it. Calorie restriction is notoriously hard for most people to stick with. It requires willpower, discipline, and a complete overhaul of your diet. But what if you could achieve similar benefits by simply adjusting your protein intake? That's the promise of this research, and it's wild because it flips the script on how we think about aging. Now I know what you're thinking, but I need protein for my workouts. And you're absolutely right. Active individuals, athletes, and those hitting the gym daily require more protein to repair muscles and build strength. But here's the catch. Most of us aren't training like Olympians. We're sitting at desks, scrolling through phones, and surviving on caffeine. This is where the data gets interesting. Studies show that sedentary people might be consuming double their required protein, which could be driving inflammation, metabolic issues, and even accelerating aging. It's like wearing a heavy coat in a sauna. Your body doesn't need it, and it's working overtime to compensate. Let's dive into the science. One of the most compelling findings is the role of a hormone called FGF21. When protein intake drops, this hormone spikes, and it does some pretty cool things. It boosts energy expenditure, helps regulate blood sugar, and reduces inflammation. In mice, higher FGF21 levels correlated with longer lifespans, and this effect was even stronger in males. Now, while we can't directly extrapolate that to humans, the fact that lower protein diets in humans also increase FGF21 is a red flag. It suggests that our modern diets, loaded with protein-fortified everything, are potentially suppressing this longevity-promoting hormone. But wait, there's more. The review also highlights specific amino acids, methionine, isoleucine, and valine, as potential troublemakers. These building blocks of protein seem to activate pathways that promote growth, which sounds great, until those pathways stay overactive. Suddenly, you're at higher risk for obesity, inflammation, and the same age-related diseases we're trying to avoid. This raises a deeper question. Are we mistaking short-term muscle gains for long-term health? Because if these amino acids are driving cellular damage, then the protein-heavy diets we've been celebrating might be a double-edged sword. And here's where it gets personal. The researchers aren't saying everyone should cut protein. Far from it. Pregnant women, older adults, and anyone with specific health needs still require adequate intake. But for the average person, especially those leading sedentary lifestyles, this review is a wake-up call. It's not about deprivation, it's about alignment. Your body doesn't need 200 grams of protein a day if you're not using it. And yet, we're drowning in protein powders, meat-heavy meals, and the myth that more is always better. What many people don't realize is that this obsession with protein might be a modern-day fad, not a biological necessity. So where do we go from here? The takeaway isn't to eliminate protein entirely, it's to personalize your intake based on your lifestyle. If you're active, by all means eat your protein. But if you're like most of us, sitting for hours a day, maybe it's time to reassess. The future of nutrition isn't one size fits all. It's about listening to your body, your activity level, and the science that's evolving around us. And honestly, this research makes me wonder, how many of us are unknowingly sabotaging our health by overeating a nutrient we don't actually need? What if the secret to longevity is simpler than we think, and starts with a plate that's not as protein-heavy as we've been led to believe?